Okay, so welcome back to some more MX versus ATV All Out. Today we're going to be checking out the new times of the day that you can ride at the Goat Farm. This is going to be in the upcoming patch, and we're going to start off with the morning, then we'll switch over to midday, then evening, nighttime, and then nighttime, foggy, kind of stormy. That's what we'll finish off with. And then at the very end, we will check out the new faster AI, which, in my opinion, is the most interesting part to this update, but we'll go over that when we get to that point of the video. Anyways, this is a free update if you have the Goat Farm. If you don't have the Goat Farm, I don't think you can experience this. It is just for people who purchase the Goat Farm. It is a free update, and I don't know if they have any plans to switch, or to not switch, but to add this to the rest of the game, or if this is just like something that they're planning on using going forward, or I really don't know. I don't know what the plan is. I just know right now it's for the Goat Farm. Now, as far as I know, it is randomly generated, so you might get the morning scenario like 1 or 2 times in a row, and then, you know, a different one the next time, and so on and so forth. Now, one thing I can suggest is that restarting doesn't really seem to switch the time of the day, nor does going back and forth between the farm. So what I mean by that is if you select the motocross track and then you don't get it, so you select the supercross track right away, I don't know if it changes it. I think it does, but it took forever. I mean, it took forever. It was like, I bet I did it 20 times, maybe more, before I ever got it to change, doing it that way. For me, the easiest way to get it to change was exiting the event, so going back to the ranch, and then going back into the farm, choosing, you know, one of the races, like the upper or lower supercross track or the motocross track. That was the easiest way for me to get the times of the day to change, and it was a little bit frustrating at first, but as far as I can tell, it's randomly generated. It's not there's not like a percentage, I don't think. And for me, when I started doing it that way, like backing out to the ranch and then going back into a race at the Goat Farm, it would go pretty much every other time or every 2 races. So maybe I'd have 2 races with one scenario, and then it would switch to a different scenario, and so on and so forth. So I think they did a really good job. This is probably my second favorite setting. I know a lot of people are going to really like the nighttime, but I like that midday. I don't know. I just really do. It's like, it feels like it's a good time. I mean, that's what I want to ride. I want to ride midday, and I mean, I like evening riding too, but typically I don't ride at nighttime. I don't have a track with a bunch of lights around it that can illuminate so I can see, but this is really cool. I think the new addition of it being kind of foggy, it looks really good in the environment, but it's not like annoying to where it would affect you when you're trying to play. I mean, you can see it when you're on the track, but it doesn't really interfere, you know what I mean? It doesn't really interfere with anything as far as being able to see the track. It's just kind of gives you that spooky vibe, you know? It came out a bit late. It would have been cool if it would have came out for Halloween, but, you know, close enough. And here we are jumping into the faster AI. This is insane. This is... Okay, so I haven't messed around with them too much. I kind of raced them on the Goat Farm and a few of the... Actually, I just raced them on the Goat Farm. I thought I did a couple other tracks, but thinking back, no, I did not. I just raced them at the Goat Farm, and my first impressions of them are... They're nasty fast. Like, they're nasty fast. And they definitely feel much faster on the motocross track than the supercross track. So... the clips that I showed you were all from the supercross tracks with the time of day changes, but I didn't show you the entire race. And I think all the races that I did for doing that, I won. I think. I'm not 100% sure, but I think I won. It was really close, and if I did win, it was by like usually less than 2 seconds. So it was like 1.5 seconds maybe. It was really, really close and really difficult, and it was just really tough. And on the motocross track here, I've won maybe 1 or 2, but I've lost a bunch too. And I'm trying. I'm legit trying. I know I'm not the greatest at this game, and I know, you know, since we've done Moto Mastery, you can see what really fast looks like. And I'm sure for those people, it probably, it probably doesn't really affect them. But for an average player such as myself and maybe a bit higher, this is going to be tough. They're really tough. It's actually kind of enjoyable to race against them. Now, what I mean by kind of enjoyable is the AI seems to... it really seems like they have this boost all of a sudden. It's not like a gradual thing. They'll go from like 0 to 60 in 10 times faster than you will, is what it feels like. They'll just get this weird boost that shoots them across the track really fast. I'm fine with that. That doesn't really bother me. What does bother me is that I feel like it doesn't really feel like they're all taking the same line either, but it feels like they take stupid lines. Like, look at that. The guy just like jumped from one side of the track to the other. You see that a bunch, and even when the AI gets ahead of you, it kind of gives you a chance still, because there's over a 90% chance that they're going to go off track or crash. I mean, they're really, really, really fast, but they're really, really inconsistent. It's kind of all over the place. And in Supercross, I was a bit frustrated sometimes because it feels like sometimes they're going after you. And I know that sounds really stupid, but on the start, well, when I say start, I'm not saying like the first corner here. I'm talking about like the first lap. They're like going after you, and it's like the collisions are kind of weird. You kind of get stuck to them occasionally, and then sometimes it just kind of bouncy balls you off the track. You know what I mean? It's really weird, and that was really frustrating. That was extremely frustrating, but I'll take that. I'm not really complaining because I'm so happy that the AI is actually a challenge to some degree now on some tracks, but they are most definitely, we just saw that guy go flying across the track. It's like, what are you doing? What are you doing over there, man? Come on, take smarter lines, you know what I mean? But they are quite challenging on the national tracks. They are much more difficult. Well, at least at the compound here, the national track, the motocross track here, is much more of a challenge to race the AI than the supercross tracks are. And I feel like the AI might be hitting some big lines, because there was multiple times, even if I won one of the supercross races here at the farm, I did not have the fastest lap time. I know one time there was, I think one, maybe two AI riders that had at least a half a second faster lap time than I had. So, yeah, it's a bit embarrassing. It's a bit embarrassing that the AI can turn faster lap times than me, but I'm happy. I think it adds for a challenge. It makes it worth doing solo play. When you want a challenge, you have to go to multiplayer, and you don't know if you're going to get a challenge from a player or not. And here, at least on national style tracks, I think you're going to get a pretty good challenge for your average player. Maybe not for your super fast guy, because they're just better, but minimizing mistakes is going to matter. And I definitely think that it's a challenge. It's definitely a challenge. And I was trying my best, and now I played on the goat farm some, probably about as much as anything else. I was just going to say I don't know how familiar I am with it, but once the track gets really rough, it does add a difference too, because the AI it doesn't really seem to affect the AI that much, but it affects the player. And I don't like right there where we, back there are ways where we passed Tedder. I don't really know what he did, but they do stuff like that. They do stuff like that. They just kind of go off track, crash, or they're inconsistent to some degree. And then here, we're starting to lose a little bit of ground, and you're just never really that comfortable. Even when I had the lead, again, I just didn't. I only won by 1.5 seconds, I think. And then I made a mistake in one of the races that I didn't show you, and they're right on your backside again. You're constantly getting harassed, and I love it. I love that aspect, the new aspect of the game. I just don't like the way that the choice of lines that they take is so sketchy. It's really sketchy. I wish that was a bit better, but that's just being kind of nitpicky right now. And overall, I think it's worth it. See, look, he's way, way, way off the track, way over there, and then that allows us to get into the lead, but he's right back on us again. I mean, it's just nonstop. But yeah, that's about about the end of the race and about the end of the video, and then we got screwed there. We got so screwed there, and I was really upset about that. But that's what makes it challenging, so it's good stuff. But you guys and girls are absolutely amazing. Thank you so much for the support on the channel lately. It really does mean a lot. And until the next video, take it easy.